there are some content creators that I'm not the biggest fans of. After seeing some of their actions, maybe I was a fan, but then over time I wasn't a fan anymore. But I'm not lying, guys, when I tell you guys that Swiper Diaper Island is worse than anyone that I've ever come across.
Fun fact, he DMCA struck me as well. Some people can't take a joke, if you know what I'm saying.
This resulted in Ryan's account being taken down, yet Ryan had done nothing wrong. Diaper Island claims that they are the heart of the G.I. Joe community, when in reality, they are the centre of thievery and dishonesty.
My turn. Payback is such a bitch, right?
Excuse me, this is private property.
Shut this channel down. Shut these all down.
I'm warning you, attacking these channels would be extremely hazardous. Shutting them down would be like dropping a bomb on the toy community.
At ease, officer. I'm Laser Pants, and I think there's just been a slight misunderstanding, and I want to cooperate in any way that I can. Forget it, Laser Pants. You had your chance to cooperate, but you thought it'd be more fun to insult me. Well, now it is my turn, wise ass.
He wants to shut down other content creators, Ryan.
Don't. Shut them down. I'm warning you.
I've never seen anything like this before. I don't know.
I'm not interested in your opinion. Just shut them down. Instagram, don't be a jerk.
Step aside.
They caused an explosion.
Is this true?
Yes, it's true. Viper Island has no dick.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to RetroBlasting. I am joined by my good friend, Ryan, a.k.a. Laser Pants of 3POA. I hope you all are having a nice evening. I see a lot of people in the comments. Ryan, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing good, man. Thanks. That was really funny.
I told you before that I would never gig you about Ghostbusters because the run-on joke is that you've never seen it. So I promise you that when I was thinking that up, I woke up like it was like a 15 minutes half sleep a few days ago where I was waking up to that thought. I was putting it together. And then I sat up and I started putting all the lines together in my head and getting everything ready. And it was only like 2 hours later, before I'd even started the process, that I realized this is the one movie he's always said he hasn't seen. Screw it, I'm going to do it anyway. And so I just went ahead with it. But
I mean, I'm familiar enough with the movie to immediately know this is Ghostbusters. Right. Yeah,
right.
Even though I haven't seen it in its entirety, so it works perfect. And I love Bill Murray. So I mean,
oh yeah. It was that whole bit, and we're going to get into this in a minute, everybody. And this is related to it. That whole moment where he says to him, he says, you had your chance, but you decided it would be more fun to insult me. And I was like, well, this guy really is the embodiment of Diaper Island. Like, he really is like the worst, just the worst. Well, everybody, thank you for joining us tonight. I see a lot of people in the chat. Let me get to some of these early super chats real quick. Tim Ward, thank you so much for the kind super chat. He says, happy anniversary, RetroBlasting. I forgot today is actually our 12th anniversary. So thank you for reminding me of that. I appreciate that.
Is it okay if we do a quick round of applause for that?
Sure. And then Jason Anderson, thank you for the kind super chat. He says, happy anniversary, long live the Kylie Fund, and Fook Hyper Isthmus with a narrow piece of land. Yeah, we're gonna have a good time tonight talking about this. Jeremy Kerr, thank you for the kind super chat. Happy anniversary. Thank you. That's very kind. M Vargo 97 is here. Thank you for the super chat. He says, can't wait for this. Last Call is here. Thank you for the kind super chat. He says, I just wanted to thank Michael for hanging out with us last night. You were one of the kindest, most encouraging and supportive YouTubers on, well, YouTube. Well, thank you so much for that, Troy. You are as well. And the man sitting next to me virtually is a good soul. So V. Conley, your name's going to be coming up in the positive on this stream. Thank you for the super chat. Happy anniversary to one of the most distinguished and prestigious channels on YouTube. Wow, I don't even know what to say. Thank you for everything. Thank you. Jason Evangelista, thank you for the kind super chat. He says, Michael, thank you for the awesome content you contributed. Here's to you and Melinda at RetroBlasting. This is not for the Kylie Fund. I appreciate that, Jason. And then Bradshaw Studios, thank you for the super chat. He says, happy birthday. Well, happy birthday to the channel. All right. We're going to start with what the Saturday live stream audiences used to dub Michael Story Time. Every now and then I would get a question in the Saturday live streams that would prompt a story or a recollection. And in this particular case, we have to start with a little bit of level setting. We have to start with a little bit of putting our cards on the table. There are two types of copyright claims on the YouTube system. I'm not sure how it works on Instagram. Ryan, is there more than one type? Is there a claim and a strike, or is it just more of a general attack?
As far as I can tell, it's just the one. It's just the one that's copyrighted. Hit it, take it down.
Right. Okay. Well, on YouTube, you have two versions, everyone, and I want you all to listen to this because it needs to be made clear. There's a copyright claim, or you can try and make a copyright strike. Both of these tools are present in order to dissuade theft of content. In other words, theft of intellectual property. So if you've made a video and then somebody takes that video, like the whole thing, and uploads it to their channel like it's theirs and hopes you never notice, there was that going on YouTube a lot about 8 years ago. That is something where you need to tell YouTube, hey, that is mine, and I don't want them, getting money off of the video that I made, right? The difference between a claim and a strike: a claim gives the other channel a way out without being damaged. So the claim says you have 7 or 8 days to take this video down or edit whatever it is out, and there will be no penalty to your channel whatsoever. In other words, it's saying, hey, can you please not do that? I don't want to hurt your channel. I just really don't want my content on your video. The strike, on the other hand, is literally the dagger to the kidneys, where it's like, we're not even waiting around to give them a chance to correct their error. We are just going to hit them with a strike right away. You're going to hear on YouTube a lot, and Ryan, I promise I'm about to get to the meat of this, but I just have to set this up.
I almost forgot I was on this stream. This is great.
You're going to hear a lot on YouTube from certain creators, this idea that there is a code of honor amongst YouTubers. There is no code of honor written down, but there is a difference between what some people call the code of honor and just honor in general. Honor in general typically begins with, I do not lie and I do not steal. I am honest and I'm forthright, right? Mm-hmm. I want to be clear to everybody that there was an incident about 1.5 years ago, I think it might have been 2 years ago now, where a YouTuber stole Patreon footage from my Patreon. It was all stuff that was behind a paywall on a different YouTube channel. And somehow they got their hands on this footage and they started putting it in videos. I said, well, that's not good because that's for patrons. That's for people who pay to access that footage. It shouldn't be up there. Now, this individual has made all kinds of videos about me, like use my picture in thumbnails, and I don't go after YouTubers for that. You know what? You gotta take the heat when people just decide they don't like you. All right. I've never gone after anybody for doing anything petty or whatever like that. And even if they use clips from my videos that are out here on the channel, I don't go after them. All right. But in this case, I was like, well, kind of need to rein this in because this is stolen Patreon footage. But I didn't strike them. I claimed it to give that channel an opportunity to not get wounded. Now, here's the other thing. Just because you make a claim, it doesn't mean YouTube is going to side with you. These anti-copyright theft tools can be very flawed, as we're about to see with Instagram. They can be very flawed, and they don't often get you the result you necessarily want. However, this guy tried to claim that I was striking him to try and stoke up more fuel for his fire. He had stolen paid-for footage, and then he had claimed I was striking him. Now, the funny part was in his screenshots in his video, it actually showed the email from YouTube and it said claim. It didn't say strike. So it was all disingenuous all the way around. But these are not perfect tools. And all I wanted was the video footage taken down. YouTube ultimately didn't side with me on that, even though it was stolen Patreon footage. But the broader point I want to make, and this is the end of my spiel, and then we're going to get into this thing going on. That individual's channel is still just fine. I did not go after any other portals this person is on, which includes Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. I didn't go scorched earth. All I was trying to do was get back some paid for Patreon footage, and I didn't want to damage his channel in the process. I want you guys to hold on to that, though, that copyright claim reports are to get back something that was stolen. All right? That's the key point. And when something is stolen, even when YouTube doesn't side with you or another portal, in my example, I did not go after any other portals that they were on. I wasn't trying to literally destroy their social media platforms. I was just trying to get my footage back. All right. So that's what I consider to be a reasonable use of these tools. So now let's get into the meat of the evening. Ryan, aka Laser Pants, aka host of the 3POA.
Thank you.
Welcome. You have a situation where, correct me if I'm wrong, you were given permission to post a photograph of some exclusive sneak peeks at some new head sculpts for G.I. Joe Classified.
Now, I want to be clear because that almost sounds like I'm in league with Hasbro, and I'm not.
Right.
But no, I do have a friend, and I hear a little bit of an echo. Is that me?
Okay,
I think we're good now.
Okay.
It's okay.
I have echo cancellation on, so I don't know if it would be me. Yep.
I have a friend who lives in China. He knows things about the toy industry, and he works not in the toy industry but close to it. So he sent me some pictures of prototype heads for the upcoming Nemesis Immortal, which is now renamed. It was Nemesis Enforcer or Nemesis whatever.
Yep, it was when we were kids. It was Nemesis Enforcer. Yep.
Yeah. Now it's Nemesis Immortal. He sent me pictures of the prototype heads that were taken from the factory. He asked to remain anonymous, so I said that's cool. And I posted them on Instagram, and it went semi-viral. A lot of the G.I. Joe pages, podcasts, YouTube channels picked it up, reposted it. Every single one of them did credit me, except Viper Island. Viper Island took my photo and mirrored it, removed the background, and added a sepia tone to the top of it. And then posted it as if it was his own photograph, as if he was taking the credit on breaking this news. Now, he has had a reputation of doing this with several other toy channels. Channels that focus on G.I. Joe, because Viper Island, obviously you can probably tell by the name, is a G.I. Joe channel. He has a reputation for taking content, changing it to look like his own, and taking credit for it, which is what he has done to A Toy Kind of Mood, I believe, the Full Force podcast, the Artist Shark, and there may be others that I'm forgetting. So when he did it to me, I thought, oh man, I kind of thought it was funny, right? I'm like, oh, I got Viper Island. Like, his name has become a verb. I got Viper Island. And so I try to be funny on the internet. I fail at that a lot, but I made some memes. I made some memes about the situation and threw them up on Instagram. Didn't think anything else of it. Moved on with my life. Well, That was on Saturday, May 4th.
Mm-hmm.
On Saturday, Sunday, May 5th, he very early in the morning, and I posted these at night. So very early in the morning, a few hours after I posted, he posted his doctored photographs. I posted the memes Sunday, May 5th, and another one Monday, May 6th. On Tuesday, May 7th, he started to copyright strike my memes
Mm-hmm.
on Instagram. Now, that he didn't report me for bullying or harassment or any violation of terms of service in that way.
Right.
He actually hit me with a copyright strike, which took my photographs down.
So your photographs of those heads and everything else, he copyright claimed those.
He for some reason he didn't copyright claim the photos of the head.
Uh-huh.
But he copyright claimed the memes. And by the way, I forgot to mention this. After he took and uploaded the photos that he doctored from me, he blocked me.
This is thin, Riggs. This is very thin. This is anorexic.
So he blocked you after stealing your stuff.
Yeah.
And then started copyright claiming memes that you made.
Making fun of him, right?
That put on you put it on your Instagram. You made those yourself. You rolled up your sleeves and made those memes. There was nothing that you took from him. And now he's using the anti-theft tool to protect him or retaliate for him stealing from you.
Yeah, he didn't want people to know that he stole them from me, and he didn't like being made fun of. So he essentially broke the law, because I looked into it. When you fill out a copyright strike form,
right,
you are saying by threat of perjury, that what you are doing is true. It is a true copyright strike. I forget exactly how it's worded, but it's a crime,
right?
To copyright strike something that's not yours.
Yeah, you're committing perjury or something like that.
Yeah, you're committing. It said something like that.
Yeah,
I'm not a lawyer.
Right. Still, though, this is why I wanted to set this up for everybody listening right now at the beginning. To turn around and use the copyright strike system to retaliate against someone you stole from, that is easily one of the most underhanded, craven things I've ever heard of in the toy space. Like, I've never heard of that before. Like,
right. It's brazen. It's completely brazen. I was like, I'm dealing with a real dirtbag here. That's the first thing I thought. So I had already planned on doing a live stream about the Brian Flynn interview, which was the week prior, where he had pretty much exposed himself in some lies, and I thought, well, I'm going to make this part of the show. So I went live that Wednesday. That was Wednesday, May 8th. I had been struck several times by this point. And what I did was, when I got the copyright strikes, I took screenshots, right? I threw those up on Instagram. I said, look at this. He's copyright striking me for memes after he took my picture without crediting. And so what did he do with those screenshots that I posted, Michael? Can you guess?
He copyright claimed those, or struck them.
He copyright claimed screenshots of correspondence from Instagram sent to me that I posted.
Let's just deal with this hostility now.
Like, I can't even figure out how Instagram can be so asleep at the wheel that an appeals process doesn't force them to look into that and say, oh yeah, that couldn't possibly be something that guy owns himself. That's a screenshot of an email that went to the person who owns the account that posted it. So how could that? I feel like they've let AI Jesus take the wheel over at Instagram, and this guy has figured out the loophole or something.
Right. And exactly. He has exploited a huge flaw in their copyright claiming system on Instagram. And he knows it.
Mhm.
He knows it because he's done this before. He has
Right.
had other people's Instagrams taken down.
Mhm.
But we'll get to that. So
Right.
I do the live stream Wednesday night. It goes great.
Mhm.
The next day, I'm, whatever. I don't even think of it. It's over. Well, he copyright struck my, or he didn't copyright claim. He hit my Twitter with the pull down notice. He said I posted personal information about him. Well, the personal information was my thumbnail that had his face in it, which I screenshot from his video,
Right.
which is public.
Yeah.
He's a public figure.
Right.
So he took that down at Twitter. I'm pretty upset. So
Yeah.
at this point, I think I have 16 strikes against my 2 Instagram accounts. Sunday morning, I wake up. The stream was Wednesday. Sunday morning, I wake up to an email saying, your video has been taken down from YouTube and your channel has received a copyright strike. Now, as a YouTuber, that's pretty frightening.
Yeah.
Because 3 strikes, your channel's gone.
Yep.
So what I did was, in that video, the reason why he's claiming it's copyright infringement, which it is not, I took a 3-minute section of one of his 21-minute videos, a section where he is maligning other YouTubers and boasting about himself. It's really gross.
Right.
But I took that and I did what's commonly called on YouTube e-fapping. Every frame a pause.
Yep.
Right. And I talked about it. I talked about what he was saying. I made fun of him. It was great content. I mean, I'm not trying to build myself up here, but I thought it was great. Had a great time with it. That is, by the way, protected under fair use.
Right.
It was transformative. It was used for criticism, commentary, and reporting, which is right there in the statute under fair use covered. But he didn't care. He was upset. So he did copyright strike me for that. Video came down. I've been appealing it ever since. We'll see if YouTube lets it go back up.
Right.
I don't know. But 2 strikes, you can't stream or upload for 2 weeks. 3 strikes, and your channel's deleted.
Right.
So I've been appealing that ever since. Anything I posted on Instagram after that, he was striking. Stuff that didn't have anything to do with him. People were posting images of support for me.
Right.
Our friends V. Conley, Robert's Infinite Realms. I was sharing those. He was striking me.
See, okay, everybody, this is why we had to do this stream tonight, because one of the things I need to implore you all, if you all have an Instagram account that's about toys and could possibly Venn diagram with this guy at any point that you care about, like meaning you care about your account, even though it's not a guarantee, you need to go to this guy's Instagram account, which is like at Viper Island or something like that. Find his profile and block him now. Like, I've heard that he has ghost accounts as well. I've heard he has sock puppet accounts, whatever you want to call it. Yep. Which obviously that's no guarantee that he hasn't already sock puppeted his way into your subscriber or your follower base on Instagram. But a good first step is to block this guy. The second step that you could take if you wanted to, although it would impede your Instagram's growth, is to temporarily privatize your entire profile so that he can't get to you unless he's already in there with a sock puppet account watching you. So I'm just saying, this is why the implications are horrendous. Like right now, based on what Ryan's just told me, even though I'm sure these people of a higher stature with more subscribers or followers on Instagram probably have direct liaisons, you could cause a lot of chaos for somebody. Like I don't like J.J. Abrams as a director. If I went over to J.J. Abrams' Instagram right now and I waited until like 1 a.m. and I just started bombarding J.J. Abrams' Instagram posts with copyright claims, he might wake up tomorrow to a really funny message from Instagram being like, we're taking down your channel in violation of blah, 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 even though none of that would ever be considered Michael French's stuff. Like, so that's why I'm saying the implications of this are insane. Right. So anyway, Ryan, sorry, please continue.
Well, he also, he was working overtime. Now if he didn't use a sock puppet account, he would he would have to unblock me to see what I posted, right, and then strike it, and then block me again. And all these strikes were coming at night. I'd wake up to emails saying that whatever I posted or shared in the story was struck and removed. The same started happening to Chad. The same started happening to an Instagram account called Chaz the Guru, who is primarily, his presence is on Instagram is making memes based on the toy community, collecting, funny memes. But Chaz's account was taken down the same weekend, and then recently he struck Chad. It's Chad's Instagram account that's been removed. All of this is being appealed by us, and we may get our accounts back, but I mean, it's not looking good. Who knows? Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say to everybody listening, he's just mentioned Chad, who also had his Instagram taken down. In the video description below for all of you, you will see links to 3 videos. First, you'll see a link to the 3POA podcast, which is Ryan's show. But then under that, you're going to see links to 3 different videos. The reason that I put those there for tonight is because I didn't want to retread over all the same ground that these other YouTubers have carefully, cultivated or curated. So if you want to see a lot of these receipts, I highly recommend you watch Chad's video and Analog Toys video. And if you really want to get a good conversation between Chad and Ryan on some of this, you can go to last night's Articulated Ninja live stream, which is also linked in the description below. Hope you'll stick with us until the end and then use those as reference. But just wanted to let you know. Please continue, Ryan.
Just to add to that, I also did start a Rumble account, which is a video sharing service. And I was able to get a lower quality copy of the stream because StreamYard didn't happen to record that one that got struck. But I was able to download a lower quality copy, and I did upload it to Rumble. So if you want to see that original stream, just look at 3POA on Rumble. I don't know what their standards are. He might go over there and strike that and bring it down. Who knows? But it's there now. I have it downloaded. So eventually it will go back up on YouTube, maybe in a slightly different form.
Sure.
But
sure.
Now, people have asked why I haven't struck him. Obviously, I said it's illegal, right? It's dishonest, it's lying, it's petty. So that's why I haven't done that. Also, they asked why he's not striking more videos on YouTube. Well, YouTube has pretty severe consequences for false copyright strikes. So that's why he maybe thought he could get away with one, but he hasn't struck anything else. And he hasn't struck Chad. As far as I know, he hasn't struck Tony's video today, which should definitely be watched. Chad, really Chad's and Tony's. But that kind of explains that. That's why more things haven't been struck. He knows it will carry consequences for his channel when eventually it comes out that it was a false copyright strike.
And that's another reason that I know this sounds sadistic, but I don't care because this guy's scum. The fact is that when I decided to ask Ryan if he would come on and tell this story, I knew that would, if we use the analog of naval battles, I am a pretty juicy destroyer or, battleship for this guy's little U-boat. And I thought, you know what? I know YouTube really well after having done this for exactly 12 years today, apparently. And I know exactly how to keep him from being able to file even the thinnest copyright claim on this video by just talking to Ryan rather than giving him any flimsy excuse so that this story stays up. So that's why I highly encourage you after the stream is over to go see the videos that were also carefully constructed by Chad and Tony at Analog Toys. They're excellently done. So Ryan, where are you in the process right now of one, trying to get your Instagram accounts back? Because he took down both of your accounts.
No, he just took down one.
Oh, I thought 3POA was under threat as well.
Three-
So
3POA is still up, but I'm wary to use it because I think he might just strike it to oblivion as well.
because he's already struck it a few times, right?
He struck it a few times, but most of my memes and sharing was done on my larger account, which was LaserPants81.
Right.
That's the one that's gone. So I peeled it, and they responded back and they said your appeal's rejected. You can appeal again. So I appealed again, and now it's in limbo. It's been in limbo for several days.
You know, the problem with guys like Mark Zuckerberg, and they have a lot of problems because there's no soul behind their eyes,
right?
Is that they believe that the true manifestation of a utopian human society is to take all humans out of the loop and leave the humans that are left twisting in the wind to the whims of robots. I told you on a chat the other day, and I'll say it again. Everything about Meta is like biplanes in the jet age. Like there's something about the way he conducts social media that is both horribly naive and horribly destructive. And we're witnessing it right now because we have this massive, we have this massive flaw in the Death Star that is Instagram. Like, if we wanted to, we could probably just put out a few YouTube videos to instruct people on how to do this, and it could just start imploding tomorrow. Like, I mean, it would go into chaos. I'm horrified and fascinated by the whole thing. Let me get through a few of these super chats real quick, and then we'll get back on topic. HJC, thank you for the kind super chat. He says, May is truly the best birthday month. RetroBlasting channel today, Articulated Ninja yesterday, and Little Old Me last weekend. Here's to 12 more years of RB and more. Thank you. I appreciate that. And then Figure Fever, thank you for the $2. He says, happy anniversary to your channel, Michael. Thank you so much. This was all a coincidence. I did not realize we were doing that on that day. KBA, thank you for the super chat. He says, who is this D-list wonder and why is he harassing our favorite potato for the Dalton Fund?
Should we explain the potato thing?
Sure, go ahead.
I got a nickname from a guy at work, a Canadian Indian guy who comes in, and he called me the white potato one time, and I mistakenly told that story on a stream, and it's stuck ever since. So.
And then you've had a few interesting custom action figures made from what I sent to you.
Let me terrify your audience by showing one. This is from Mark II Design, who designs weapons for the Valorverse line of Action Force figures. He made this for me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That definitely personifies the nickname.
Then our friends Vishay, right, and Samantha.
Yep.
Sent me this. So
that's funny.
Yeah, it's disturbing.
Cato's Collection Reviews, thank you for the kind super chat. He says, here's $5. Go buy something cheap for the anniversary. I will, sir. Thank you. Impossible Pie, thank you for the $5 Canadian. How's she going, eh? This Viper Island guy's giving us very polite Canadians a bad name. Stop it, you poser. 3POA for life, eh? Scuba Pete is here with a very kind super chat. Thank you, sir. He says, Laser Pants knows people, and doggone it, those people like him. They do. They do.
I like you a lot, Scuba Pete.
I do too. Scuba Pete's one of our best.
Yep.
Mobile Recluse, thank you for the 250. He says, I remember EFAP covered this months ago where some content creators would simply watch someone else's video with little to no analysis, but YouTube doesn't see it as an issue. Happy birthday, RetroBlasting. Yes, and that got into the whole SS Sniper Wolf controversy a while back, which fortunately for us in the toy space, we didn't have to deal with all that drama. Bradshaw Studios, thank you for the kind super chat. He says, that is BS, and I agree with you. That's why we're here tonight. Jackboy20, thank you for the kind super chat. He says, taking money from your subscribers is disgusting, LOL. I support the pants. Very kind, sir. Scott Knudsen is here. Thank you for the kind super chat. Quote, when you tear out a man's tongue, you are not proving him a liar. You're only telling the world that you fear what he might say. I reckon the same goes for fraudulent copyright strikes. Yes, 100%. 100%. And we have Articulated Ninja here with a $5 super chat. Thank you for being here, sir. Lovely stream last night. Thank you for having them on. He says, thank you, Retro, for having Laser Pants on and spreading awareness of one of the worst creators in the toy space. Respect to you all. Hope all is well. Appreciate that. And thank you for being here tonight. All right, back to the story. So a second ago, you mentioned Vache and Blue Serendipity. This guy has decided in another baffling move where just when you thought that he had found the bottom of the barrel, in moves that, as Ninja said last night, and I was saying in group chats when we were talking about all this the last few days, I can't believe the lows that Diaper Island is going to in order to fight this battle after he was the one that stole the photo. Like, he's the thief, and now he's going scorched earth. Right. He found a new low where he decided to start attacking people who were just supporters of you. Right. And the only time I've ever seen this prior is not with content creators. It's just with petty trolls under fake sock puppet accounts on Facebook, where they're psychos and they look up people's friend lists. They do it to me. And then they just start spamming other friends of mine's posts, their own personal posts. It's very strange. These people are crazy. But I'd never seen a YouTuber do it until I started hearing about what happened here. So walk me through a little bit of what happened after this, the spillover, and how it hit Vache and Blue Serendipity.
This is during the whole whirlwind of him striking me posting the strikes as screenshots and him striking those, and then people posting messages of support in their stories and on their pages, not just for me, but also for Chad. This guy, Diaper Island, is so petty. He struck messages of support for me and Chad that didn't even mention him. And that he struck those on Vache and Blue Serendipity's Instagram, which ridiculous.
That's
I hate him with all my heart.
Yeah. I can't believe that somebody would go to that level. Like, it's one thing to I am not above getting in arguments with people on the internet. I'm known for it. But even when I get in arguments with people who, are being smug about supporting someone they know gives me a lot of trouble, I've never tried to go after their social media accounts. Like, that is
it's petty, Michael.
Right.
It's really, really petty. And you mentioned you argue with people on the internet. You're known for it, right?
Yeah.
You don't mind going toe to toe. You'll stand your ground. You'll state your case. Diaper Island doesn't do that. Diaper Island can't do that. There's no way to argue your way around this. So he strikes, he hides, he turns off comments, he deletes comments. And then he posts very, we'll say gaslighting.
Right.
Gaslighting messages on his YouTube community tab, on his Instagram posts, where he gaslights those that can see what he's posting. And some of them are buying it, but I don't know if you've noticed, not all of them, because today, in the last few days, his YouTube has really been taking a hit. People are fed up. They don't like this.
I'm so glad you brought that up, because that was something I wanted to address, was this big public statement that he made, but didn't allow comments on it, where he claimed that he had been sent 67 harassing messages, even though from the timeline of events, you never had the ability to DM him once. So, because he blocked you preemptively. So he's outright lying about being bombarded with hate messages, and then decides to falsely and probably knowingly, not erroneously, use the copyright claim system as a substitute for trying to fight against like harassment and bullying, which the bullying's not taking place, and he's misusing the copyright system as a substitute for an anti-harassment tool or reporting system.
And Instagram does have that. He can report things for bullying and harassment. He doesn't have to use the copyright strike feature, but he does, because it's immediately taken down, because humans aren't actually looking at it. It's just bots, and he knows it.
See, again, it gets back to everybody out there who may not, operate daily on multiple social media platforms. Every social media platform has a kind of personality because they're all, not only do they have different user cultures, but they're also owned by different corporations. And so those corporations have different ways of interacting with their users and dealing with these kinds of conflicts and everything like that. YouTube's system is very flawed in many ways, but it's usually flawed in the sense that nobody, except in the case of this one copyright strike that you got, which I still don't understand how that even went through, nobody really gets satisfaction in any direction. So like I told you before, when my Patreon footage was being stolen, YouTube would only side with me until the other guy appealed. And then once he appealed, it was like, well, you've got to like start paying for a lawyer and all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, oh, well, that means that the copyright system only protects corporations that have deep legal pockets. Okay. Well, recently there has been a certain YouTuber that you all may have heard of. I've had some run-ins with them in the past, no surprise. And they've gotten embroiled in having stolen 81 different photographs from an action figure photographer's website and using them in over 60 videos. I am disappointed to tell you that my statement about YouTube's resolutions rarely being in favor of the claimant is very true here. It's on display here because while this person who's the photographer is not a YouTuber, they're just running a website with their photography. Their photos have been stolen 81 times, and this guy is still on the internet with his channel with like no copyright strikes to really speak of. Like if he does have it, it's like one, and it'll probably drop off like in 90 days or whatever it is, and he just gets to walk away with those photographs or whatever. So the reason I bring that up is that Instagram has, as frustrating as it is, Ryan has just experienced this. As frustrating as it is to see YouTube kind of arbitrarily do things every now and then, by and large, it's very difficult to deplatform somebody on YouTube. It's very difficult. Even when you've actually been stolen from, it's very difficult. In reverse, this Instagram situation indicates you can rob anybody and then claim everything they've already owned on their own page as well. It's like this is the kind of guy, this Diaper Island guy, he's not interested in getting away from the bear. He's just interested in tripping you and being faster than you while he runs away. Like right. He has tripped you in front of the bear and taken off. And anybody who's listening right now who knows about Diaper Island and their G.I. Joe Classified channel, who may have watched this individual, I'm not going to tell you what to do, but this is the kind of destabilizing situation that affects the whole toy space. It affects the content creator space for all of us. And as much as I've just told you about people that I really don't like, they've never stooped this low. I've had a lot of run-ins with people over the years, as you know. A lot of crazy things have happened. Sail barge, anyone? And nobody has stooped this low. They've come close, but they haven't stooped this low to copyright blitzing me out of existence falsely. I'm sorry, I just went off on a rant, but
no, that's okay. I mean, I said the same thing on my last stream. I've had dust ups, so to speak, with other YouTubers, and it's mostly just trash talking back and forth, or it's never that serious. I never wished anyone's channel would get ripped down.
Right.
I never went after someone using nefarious means or something illegal,
right,
to hurt them. So that's why this is kind of such a big deal.
Right.
This guy, he has no moral compass. He has no decency.
Right. My understanding is that he started theft of content back when he stole the entire G.I. Joe movie from Hasbro and just reposted it on his own YouTube channel.
Yes, he did. He uploaded the entire 1987 G.I. Joe movie, I believe, and he had it up for a while. He was able to gain a little bit more than 8,000 subs, I think, 1 million views, and then Hasbro, of course, struck him because he stole it. They
Right.
struck his channel, but they don't remove your subs. So he knew what he was doing, in my opinion. He was gaming the system to get a quick boost of subs. And by the way, in his videos, he boasts about how many subs he has in like every video.
Right. That's a weird thing to me. It seems kind of infantile. It's weird.
Yeah, it's hey, look at me, look what I did. It's like, yeah, dude, you used the cheat code. You got the game genie. Who cares if you got a billion points in Mario Brothers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's strange to me that this guy has said in these messages that he's put out and in the video, because Chad does a great job of kind of walking through the highlights of the video that he did, where he's talking about how all these other channels are just, quote, over the hill and dying off, and he's the new hotness when it comes to G.I. Joe toy tubing or whatever. And I'm thinking to myself, you padded out your subscribers by stealing an entire movie from the very company that you based your entire topic content topic around. And now you're stealing habitually. You've stolen interviews from other channels and cropped out the actual people who were doing the interviews, like the YouTubers who were doing the interviews. You've stolen countless photos and other things from people like Ryan. And somehow you think you're the righteous center of this community or space or whatever you want to call it. It's delusional at best. But I keep wondering if this isn't some kind of sociopathy. And I know I'm not a psychiatrist, but it's definitely underhanded. There's something willfully underhanded about this, if not self-delusional. And I'm not sure. What's it going to take, Ryan, as far as from where you are right now with the Instagram situation and, fighting things on YouTube versus the people that have rallied around you? What's the most effective solution at this point? Is it to keep trying to fight it bureaucratically and see if you can get a result with hope that Instagram will change policies in the background as a result? Or is it kind of knowing that in your mind, maybe they won't ever do anything about it, and so the community needs to change its behavior? The toy space and all of us need to be aware and literally isolate these kind of human viruses.
Well, I think the first thing that everyone has to do is block this guy. And then going forward, if this behavior is noticed in anyone else, we have to do this same thing. Get it out there. Let everyone know. We have to oust them. We have to oust them from this space because, like you said, it's just going to destroy it.
Right. What is your next step at this stage?
Ooh.
I mean, you don't have to reveal anything you don't want to reveal, but I mean, just where your head's at, with your content, your channel, how you're going to conduct your portals going forward, things like that. How are you going to make any changes to try and protect yourself against this guy? Or do you feel like, well, I've already taken the bloody nose, so I might as well, just keep doing what I'm doing? I'm curious as to where you are, because when things like this happen to me in the background, as angry as I was at the injustice of some of it, and it never got to the level where any of my platforms were shut down, but as angry as I was, like with the sail barge guy, the hoax liar, some of the stuff with the toy expert dude, all that kind of stuff. It never got to a point where I've even had one guy literally take my whole likeness and create a VR bar fight just to watch me get the crap kicked out of me in a virtual VR bar fight. I didn't do a thing about it. Like I just left it alone, even though it's total harassment. I just left it alone because it's like, I don't have any faith in the platforms to actually help me out. So the reason I bring that up as part of my question is, even though you feel like you've been dealt an injustice, I also know the feeling of, well, do I need to change what I'm doing from here on out to avoid this? Because even though it's not right and it's not fair, you also don't want it to happen to you again. And you can kind of feel helpless. So I'm just curious where your head's at.
Well, with Instagram, it's kind of in limbo. Things are happening behind the scenes, and I'll leave it at that. But with YouTube, I'm not changing anything, because I feel like YouTube has protections in place where he can't false copyright strike me off the platform without damaging his own channel, possibly having his own channel removed.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm changing nothing as far as YouTube. Instagram is a tool I use to, I would share some toy photography stuff. I haven't done that in a long time. And then my 3POA account I used just to promote the 3POA show and keep people up to date on what we're doing there. So in that sense, I don't plan on changing anything. But yeah, I'm gonna leave it there. I'm gonna leave it there. Yeah, I don't want to say too much.
Right. No, I don't want you to say what you can't say. I'm just trying to get a sense of what you're thinking from a YouTuber perspective on your content, your rollout, your posts, everything like that. Like, is there anything that you're thinking about, doing in the background?
Nothing's changing on YouTube. I want to be clear.
Right.
Nothing is changing on YouTube. We're still doing our show. That's not changing.
Right. Let's do a few super chats here real quick. So Analog Toys, thank you for the kind super chat. He says, for the Kylie Dalton Fund. Very kind, sir. Thank you again. Pollywood, thank you so much for the super chat. He says, the worst part of this is he is using his son as a meat shield, getting him involved, and most of all, setting the absolute worst possible examples. Is this child abuse or neglect in your opinion? Well, first of all, I'm of the ardent stance that the child is blameless and shouldn't be discussed at any length. I don't want anybody from this audience right now, anybody watching right now, I want to be clear. I don't want you guys to go running off and harass this guy. One, because you're opening yourselves up to his special, taste of crazy, and two, special flavor of crazy. You taste a flavor, special flavor of crazy. And two, I just don't want people doing what he does. I don't want you guys going and harassing him. But I especially don't think that a minor, especially one that's in these videos with ostensibly his father, I don't think he should be commented on or discussed at all. He's a non-entity in this whole thing. He's a persona non grata. He's a here there be monsters. Let's just pretend that's not even a thing. So yeah. As far as like, would I be a parent that with or without my son on a YouTube channel, would I conduct myself in that way? Clearly not. But I don't think it has anything to do with parenting. I think it just has to do with, are you a good human or not? And in this case, this guy's not being a good human. He is not acting with literal honor. Let's forget that whole Fugazi idea of the YouTube code of honor. Let's throw that away. It's not even real. Real honor starts with, I don't lie and I don't steal. And this guy has done both multiple times. So he's not a good human.
Can I add to that real quick?
Absolutely.
I agree. Leave his kids out of it. I do want to say that he has made claims that people were attacking his kid. I don't believe that, and if that's true, he can post the receipts. And in my opinion, because I'm a dad, the first thing I would do was I'd stop putting my kid on YouTube.
Right.
Especially if I'm a thieving liar.
Right.
I mean, he has one person to blame for that, and that's him. If that's happening, be a better parent. Take your kid off of YouTube. Stop using him as a shield, in my opinion.
Yes. There's a lot of that in the toy space anyways, not to this level, but when people say, if you say something bad about like a movie that you didn't like, and then they're like, well, my kid liked it, and that's all that matters. It's like, I've told, I can't remember how many people I've had discussions like that with over the years, where I've always had to reply, stop using your kid as a shield to protect your own opinion about a thing because you disagree with me. Like, don't,
Right.
That's weak. Stickfa, thank you for the super chat. He says, for the cause. You're very kind. Jim Smith, thank you for the super chat. He says, Ryan might not be petty, but I am. And since I can't give him a hard cognitive reset to the forehead, everyone report his channel for harassment. Look, man, I'm just saying, Jim, I wouldn't necessarily recommend that, because one, if you're doing that and you're doing it falsely, when all this shakes out and Instagram gets its head out of its ass, you might lose your account at that point because you were doing something disingenuous. And I know that right now Instagram doesn't seem to care about that kind of thing, but I want you to protect your social media profiles as well. So I would not recommend doing that. I understand the temptation, though. I really do.
Well, I would say there is a report for harassment feature, and if you are being harassed by him, absolutely you can do that. And you can also report him for harassment, not a copyright strike. You can report him for harassing someone else. That's an option.
Yes. If it's actually happening to you, then absolutely do it. I was referring to, you don't just go over there and start flagrantly doing it.
Exactly.
Philip Story, thank you for the kind super chat. Very kind super chat. Thank you. Happy anniversary, RetroBlasting. You're the one who started all this for me, and I will always admire your content and integrity. Thank you very much. Gotta go. We're with you, Ryan. Power to the POA poll. And I hashtag stand with Ryan and Chad and everyone fighting.
Thank you. Thank you, Philip.
Killamagwai, thank you for the kind super chat. He says, Skid Mark's diaper boy put on some laser pants. Junkion, thank you for the super chat. He says, thank you, RetroBlasting, for having Ryan on. You're very welcome. VI is a degenerate subhuman thing. He's certainly making himself out to look like one right now.
Thank you, Junkion.
Cobra Saboteur, thank you for the kind super chat. He says, fun fact, Viper costumes as Jeffrey at his local Toys R Us on the weekends for extra scratch, but was fired for installing glory holes in the bathrooms. Oh my God. We stand with Ryan. I love your comedic fiction, Cobra. It's my sense of humor. But everybody listening, that's a joke. It's not real. I have to say that, Cobra, only because some people in all these streams and stuff will be like, "Is that true? Did that really happen? Oh my God!" All right, back to the crazy. There's one more element to this as we reach the hour mark, because we normally run these streams for about 90 minutes. This stream was going to go on as long as we needed it to, so this is an exception. But there's one other element to this that I wanted to bring up. People have been asking me, individuals that you and I have been having a lot of discussions with a lot of different people the last few days about everything going on. And a question that I keep getting out of just sheer incredulity, and I understand why, is who could possibly like this guy? Like, meaning as a subscriber, as a follower, who could possibly like this guy? And there've been all of these theories about, like, well, maybe he was buying subscribers through, the YouTube beta program or whatever it was, or maybe it was just all, peripheral afterglow from his G.I. Joe movie trick where he, uploaded that as long as copyright would allow. And then there are actually people, though, right now, everyone, who are cheering this guy on. They're not many, but they're out there. And if you recall, in various videos I've done, I've talked about how I think Facebook toy groups are the slime of humanity. They really are. They attract the worst people for some reason. And there is a G.I. Joe Facebook group that has been cheering this guy on. It's unfortunate. There are probably about, I'd say, 35 to 40 usual suspects that are doing all of the interaction and engagement on that page. but that page has garnered 76,000 followers. I'm not saying they're all engaged and supporting what this guy is doing, but the core group of them, including their admin, support what this guy is doing because they simply don't like the people, Chad, 3POA, and others, that are getting harangued by this guy. But they're too stupid to realize that this guy doesn't care about them and is not friends with them and will come after them in a heartbeat as well. So there are people in this space. I'm trying to respect Chad by not calling it a community because he's right. Like it's not at this point.
Right.
There are people in this space who they really do just want to watch the rest of this associated group of people who like toys burn, and they like the chaos. They like seeing people that they don't get along with, twist in the wind. And so right now they're happy about all this happening, and it's gross. So Ryan, I'm not asking you to name any names. I'm just asking you anecdotally. Have you gotten any like pushback from people who stand with this guy? Like, because I always used to get peripheral spillover of little cronies that would come and harass me when some of these YouTube channels spun something up in a video or something like that. And then they would come and hit me in my DMs and harass me and stuff. And I have to believe that's happened with this.
One person.
One? Really? That's encouraging.
One person has spoken up in defense of him. And as he made a post about myself, Analog Toys, and Chad being bullies.
Right.
But me and Chad don't have Instagrams.
Right.
Viper's Instagram is still there. And read through some of the stuff Viper's posted. The vitriol and the slime in what he's posted, still there. But anyway, yeah. One person came to his defense. And all my social media is open.
Right.
3POA Instagram, 3POA Facebook, it's open. My YouTube channel, all comments on. One person came to his defense.
I wonder if the rest of them are just hanging out and they're unengaged YouTubers, because we see that a lot on our channels as well because of the way YouTube works now, where most people are just waiting for the YouTube conveyor belt to feed them whatever YouTube wants to. And then they act like, I haven't seen your videos in years. Did you quit for a while? And it's like, no, you're just not a very engaged YouTube user. Like, you're not really going to channel pages.
Exactly.
So I keep wondering if maybe a lot of his 20,000 subs or whatever it is are disengaged users, because one, that's a phenomenon on YouTube now. Two, his content's not that engaging anyway. I can't imagine that most people would really sit down and enjoy the very repetitive format content that he delivers, which is
it's just regurgitated news from other sources, and he makes it look like your local news station. It's not interesting. And then he'll do unboxings with his kid.
Right. Well, he says that he is the center and the new heart of G.I. Joe toys on YouTube. I find it. Look, I know that there have been some G.I. Joe channels that have left the space recently. I know that FormBX257 hasn't really, he doesn't post a lot anymore. And Hooded Cobra Commander left the scene. And those are the only two besides, I know there's some other channels that do G.I. Joe. I can't think of them offhand, but is it even accurate to say that he's, even if it's just a rolled up pair of socks stuffed in the crotch of his pants for a subscriber count, is it fair to say that he's the largest subbed to G.I. Joe specific channel? Is that even real?
I don't know. I think he truly believes it, but here's the thing. All he covers is classified. Classified is a very small part of G.I. Joe.
Right.
There's a lot of G.I. Joe out there from the 1960s to now, different media. He just does classified.
Yeah. So he's not even covering the gamut of the franchise's merchandising history. So yeah. Everybody listening, I'm not one to, again, tell you what to do, but I've always said on RetroBlasting that you do need to think. You shouldn't go through life just with your thumb in your mouth and waiting for a brownie to come down the conveyor belt. And if any of you listening to this, either on the replay or right now live, are connected to this guy's channel, even as a casual viewer that doesn't go to his channel page, I hope after this is over, you ask yourself why you are and why you'd still stick around given all of this, and go watch Chad and Tony's videos. And then after that, watch the Articulated Ninja stream if you have time. But definitely, if you just need 2 quick hits to get up to speed on some of the hard receipts and everything like that, Chad and Tony's videos, the Analog Toys video, they'll do you up. And then ask yourself, what am I doing staying connected to this guy? He is not good for this platform at all. And he clearly, like, there are people, like I've said, there are people that I don't get along with. They're bomb throwers in the metaphorical sense. They're bomb throwers in Minecraft. And they relish being troublemakers, and they relish being smug spitball throwers from the back of the class. It's obnoxious. I would prefer them not be around doing that. But if they could change their behavior, I wouldn't mind them sticking around. This guy, I don't even want to see him redeem himself. I really do wish he was gone from the platform. Like, I wish he would find something else to do with his life. This is not acceptable on any level. And when I heard what was happening, I knew I had to talk to Ryan about this, not just because I've been through a lot of things that are similar and border on this, but when I heard that he was stealing and then using the anti-theft tools against the people he stole from and winning, at that point it was like, okay, I know that my fists are small, but we're doing this. This is insane. This can't go on.
And he gloats about it.
Right.
He will gloat about what he does.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll put down the channels without naming them, of course. He'll put down the channels that he's stolen from. And he'll say things like, they just want promotion on my channel, but I put in all the work for my channel. They don't get promotion.
Right. Oh, I'm so glad you mentioned that, because when I watched that on Chad's video where he replayed that clip where he's like, I'm the one putting in all the hard work. It's like, wow, you animated the 1987 G.I. Joe movie? Yeah. Like, wow, like you did that interview that you mysteriously and questionably cut yourself out of the interview. Like, oh no, you didn't do that interview with Hasbro. That was actually a totally different YouTube channel. How is that the hard work again? I loved it when Chad said that, because it was spot on. It's like, you're literally doing the opposite of the hard work to the level that it's criminal how lazy and get subs quick you want to be. Like,
but Michael, he knows how to make pretty graphics like the local news station. See, that's wow. Such production.
Yeah. Ooh, fancy graphics. You know what's funnier than his fancy graphics? That one in Anchorman where he's like, a local La Jolla man was what does he say? A local La Jolla man clings to life after he was attacked by Dobermans in an abandoned pool. Like that really bad drawing that comes up next to his head. Yeah. That to me is better and funnier and more entertaining than anything that's been in any of those clips and videos that I've seen. That guy just looks like he put together a bunch of synthwave 80s nostalgia wank and then just threw it on the screen.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yep.
Anyhow, we have a few more super chats, and then I'll I don't think we have any. I've seen a lot of discussion in the chat. I haven't seen a lot of questions. That's good. So clearly we're imparting the information they need, which is good. Inutabi, thank you for the super chat. He says support for the 3POA. That's very kind. Willie, thank you for the super chat. He says Toy Avengers assemble, assault on Diaper Island. Yep. Let's hope it's ultra absorbent. James Lucas, thank you for the super chat. He says VI is a disease and we are the cure. Yep. Michael Hinkson, thank you for the super chat. He says, hi, Michael and Ryan. Sorry I'm late. What'd I miss? Missed quite a lot, so check out the replay. There's a lot that, we can't go back and cover, unfortunately. Joe Bits, thank you for the super chat. He says, evening, gents. I appreciate your time. For years, I've trolled Swiper Cryland for reasons that lots see now. Not proud of it, but dude, Diaper sucks. By 2025, hope he no longer is in our headspace. I do too. Well, in the spirit of not trying to retread ground we've tread tonight and turn it into an echo chamber, I'd like to give you the last word on this, Ryan. Your final thoughts on this for this stream tonight. I've done a lot of talking. I feel like you've done a lot of talking, but you've kind of laid out some timelines and stuff and pertinent facts. But I'd just like to give you sort of the final podium on this one.
Sure. Diaper, your channel's bleeding out right now. You're dropping subs like crazy. If you want the bleeding to stop, kiss the ring. And that's when you end it, and then it's really cool. It makes me look cool. Right there. Can we redo that?
We can. We absolutely can. Sorry that I blew that for you.
No, it's okay. That was part of the joke.
I know it was. I know, but I was playing in my role of being the clueless goofball that can't keep my rhythm.
I felt like I was very serious this whole stream. I wanted to have a little joke at the end.
Absolutely. He doesn't. He doesn't like the jokes. Oh man. Well, I would echo what Ryan just said. Whoa, hold on.
Wow.
Hold on. Analog Toys, thank you for the very kind super chat. He says, my video was made at DEF CON level 2. You better hope I don't go to level 5. Thank you, Michael, for bringing attention to this issue. Massive respect to Ryan for standing his ground. Now I'm done for a 5-hour stream. Down for a 5-hour stream. Keep going, guys. Very kind, sir, and we love you. Moonbeam Manor, thank you for the super chat. He says, happy anniversary to RetroBlasting. Thank you. It's very kind. All right. Well, do we keep going? I don't know if we have anything left to discuss unless there's something I've left out that you want to talk about. But I think, there is one more thing we need to talk about. I almost forgot. This guy has hit other people that are not necessarily friends of ours as well from early on, gotten them deplatformed as well. So in a broad sense, minus the one Facebook group that I talked about earlier, it seems like even some of the people that we don't get along with also don't like this guy.
Oh yeah. Yeah, the channel that he stole the video interview with, that they interviewed Hasbro, the G.I. Joe guys at Hasbro, was a Toy Kind of Mood. They're no fans of us, right? When I say us, I mean 3POA, me and Bobby and Tony. They're no fans of us, but even they are, they're sick of this guy. They're sick of being stolen from. They're sick of his smarminess and smugness when he will just steal content and then laugh about it and put them down in his video.
Right.
Yeah. It's great. And there's more besides them. I mean, he's done this many times. So
I was shocked when I heard some of the names of people he's done this to that I know for a fact, even though I've never associated with them, I know for a fact they really don't like me as an example. And I'm like, wow, he's doing that to them. And those guys, like, they get angry, like, easily, like, so I can't believe I was at the time I was thinking I can't believe he managed to get one over on them. And that was around I was learning that right as everything was going on for your Instagram accounts. That was where I was suddenly learning all this stuff. It was like a cram session of Diaper Island factoids. It would be the worst Trivial Pursuit themed game I would have ever played. Trivial Pursuit Diaper Island edition. It's horrible. But yeah, I just wanted to let everybody know that, because even some of the people that aren't always friendly to us, they also don't like this guy. He kind of reminds me of like the T-1000 and T2, where he's just like this soulless blank thing that's just like killing everybody. Like it's just killing channels like all the time. And you know, the rest of us are just running from him. And it's like, we got the people who are, you know, with the Connors, and then you got the people who are trying to build Skynet, and both of us are afraid of the dude with the liquid metal fingers. Yeah, there's something, I don't know, that you can't reach him. There's like a fog there. And as Deadpool would say, and those creepy secret sex lips.
Yeah.
All right.
It says a lot about a guy when, you know, the Hasbros, so to speak, and the Hasbro haters like us, right? Because that's what we're labeled, Hasbro haters.
Right.
As I sit here in a room full of Hasbro product.
Right.
It says a lot about this guy when, you know, we can come together on the same side to speak out about this.
Yep.
I think that says it all.
So somebody asking is, will Bobby Valla get involved? I don't know. I know that he's real busy right now with a bunch of stuff. He's kind of out of pocket right now. So I don't even know if he's aware, quite honestly. Let's see. KBA, thank you for the kind super chat. He says, kiss the ring, potato strong.
You want to hear the funny story about this stupid ring?
Yes, I do.
I took my wife to what's called a Alaskan Airlines warehouse sale. Where when people don't claim their luggage and stuff, they just have this warehouse full of crap.
Right.
Like empty. Took her to the sale today, and everything's like $1 each. And I saw this ring, and I thought of doing this on this channel tonight. And I was like, for $1, I'll get this stupid ring.
Yep. Yeah. That's where Hoggle from Labyrinth ended up. Did you ever hear about that? Do you remember?
No.
Do you remember the movie Labyrinth with Jennifer Connelly and David Bowie?
Add it to the list, Michael.
And it's okay. It's okay if you don't.
I haven't seen it.
Anyway, it was a Jim Henson movie, but it was a live action with mixed puppets. Anyway, the short story is the main puppet character in the film that helps out Jennifer Connelly is this little troll-looking guy named Hoggle, right? Well, when they filmed the movie in England, and then they were shipping all the Henson stuff back to wherever he was based in the United States, Hoggle got lost in the freight shipment. Like something happened and Hoggle got lost. And he ended up at one of those facilities that you're talking about. It was the one down in Alabama. And they didn't know it for a long time because they don't immediately open the crates and stuff like that. Well, they finally opened the crate and he was all like deteriorated because he was made out of all that foam rubber and stuff. Like it was it was a horror show. And they contacted Jim Henson's studio. He had already passed away at that point. And they said, do you want this back, like for X amount of dollars or whatever? And they were like, nah, we're fine. So they got some local artisan to come in. And this local artisan who didn't quite know exactly how to restore puppets like that, he kind of restored it. And then they put it in the glass case in the entryway of that lost luggage facility. So when you go to that one in Alabama, Hoggle from Labyrinth is just in a case with like nightmare fuel face. Like he's just
no thanks.
Like, pass.
By the way, I know it's a Jim Henson thing with puppets and stuff. Like
right.
Yeah.
No, I know that. I was just saying I realized I didn't tell you that Labyrinth was a Jim Henson film. So
okay.
I was adding that on. Let's see. Chronically Online says, so who likes Kylie for the fund? Thank you, sir. It's very kind of you. Analog Toys has a question with a $5 Australian super chat. He says, question for Michael and Ryan. How do you guys feel about him firing strikes at V. Connolly and Blue Serendipity?
That made me really mad.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're innocent bystanders. I mean,
Yep.
what they had posted was just support for me.
Right.
I don't even think what they had posted had his name in it.
Mm-hmm.
Unbelievably petty.
Yes.
And
like
they're two of the nicest people that I've met, since I've been doing this. We met them at Joe Fest. I got to have a few beers with them and hang out. Super nice, very nice, generous, giving people. They sent me a potato and a car.
Mm-hmm.
This nice bottle of Tennessee whiskey.
Very nice.
Was a gift from them. Just genuine good people.
Mm-hmm.
And for him to do that, it's just, man, God, what scum.
Yeah. My take on it was similar to what I said earlier, which is I've gotten in fights with a lot of different people on YouTube. Some of my supporters, obviously, we've gotten into it. Supporters from other channels who are mad at me about whatever the latest dust up is or something. I'm not above, getting into a, verbal, back and forth with somebody. But I have never gone after a YouTube viewer's social media accounts. I've never gone after them because arguments are arguments, and standing up for the YouTuber or content creator you like, even if you take it a little too far and you go at the other content creator, yeah, it's annoying, but you always have the option to block that person. You don't have to go after their social media accounts, for God's sakes. And right. I know that there's this whole dumb idea that part of that unwritten YouTube code of honor that is hilarious to me because it doesn't exist. This idea that, you should never block people, like, ever. You should just let them abuse the heck out of you. Like, it doesn't matter what. I don't subscribe to that because some people they become ultra trolls and they become fixated and they're very abusive. And they're trying to dox you and they're trying to do all kinds of things. There is a reason that the blocking tool is there, but the blocking tool is also ultimately harmless. It doesn't harm their standing on YouTube. It's not reporting them for anything, and it does get them out of your face in one respect. So what this guy did to Vache and Blue Serendipity, not good. It's beyond a bad look. It is completely unprofessional. It takes a step too far, and then it walks 100 more steps past that step too far.
If you're the heart of the G.I. Joe community, you don't copyright strike one of the biggest G.I. Joe fans that I know.
Right.
You're not the heart of anything.
Nope. Raven Witch, thank you for the super chat. He says support for Ryan and happy anniversary to RetroBlasting. Thank you very much. And we have, they're still flying in. JD Stetson for the $2 super chat. Thank you. He says great stream. Hashtag we stand with Ryan. Hashtag kiss the ring. Analog Toys for another $5 super chat. Does he take back his giveaways when he drops below 20,000 subs?
Well, he'll have to change an awful lot of branding. Because he has branded that 20K all over the place.
Yep. Patrick Burt, thank you for the very kind Canadian super chat. He says, sorry I joined late, had another engagement. I'm all for getting rid of this diaper rash. Keep up the good fight. And happy anniversary, Michael. And thanks for being here, Patrick. It's good to see you. Thank you for the kind super chat. Michael Hinkson, thank you for the super chat. He says, Diaper Island and Junkie Man should join up. Diaper Junkland. Of course, the more the merrier. I can merge more channels who cross the line too far. Look, I'll say this much. The person you just mentioned next to Diaper Island, they're obnoxious, and they've done some things that have really irritated me. I don't agree with their positions on a lot of stuff, and I certainly don't agree with the way they've decided to come at me sometimes. But aside from, like I said, that one time where I had to try and fight back on some stolen Patreon footage, before and after that, I haven't done anything with people who've gone at me on YouTube. And in this particular case, yeah, I'm not a fan of that guy, but he hasn't stooped this low. Diaper Island is the new substandard record for the toy space YouTube community. Like,
Yeah. There's internet trolls, and then there's like internet demons or goblins or something. And that's what Diaper Island is. That's lower than low.
Yep. 100%. Well, we apparently got blitz with people wanting us to stick around for another close to half hour, but we are at the mark. So I would just say to Diaper Island, you've made a lot of mistakes, and when you're the thief, you don't get to claim harassment, and you certainly don't get to claim that other people are stealing from you.
Right.
And you've consistently been the thief multiple times. And now you're starting to abuse the viewers and the toy enthusiasts that watch all of these channels, surprisingly, including yours. How many more mistakes are you going to make before you realize that you're digging your own social media? I can't say the G word because I don't want to get, slapped down, because it's not, you know what I'm trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you are digging your own latrine pit, and you're about to jump into it. So as a social media content creator, not as a human, but as a social media content creator, your reputation is being self-immolated. I would implore you to stop. Get some help, as Michael Jordan would say. And Ryan, I'm going to read this one final super chat and then once again give you the attempt to end the stream. Joe Bits, thank you for the kind super chat. He says, would Matt Cardona tell YouTube execs about Diaper?
I think that's a wrestler.
Is it?
Yeah.
And so it's not that legal guy.
No, Matt Cardona is the wrestler or toy collector on YouTube. Mm-hmm. Correct me if I'm wrong, chat.
Mm-hmm. You're probably right. You know better than me on the whole wrestling thing. So, all right. Well, Ryan, I won't screw up the timing this time if you'd like to do that again. So,
we'll do a condensed version.
Okay.
Diaper Island. Kiss the ring.